The T-34 was the highest produced tank during the Second World War. Not only this, but in 1941 it became the most advanced tank to have entered mass production, producing over 35,000 in total, which caught the Wehrmacht entirely off guard at the start of Operation Barbarossa. They continued to produce later models of this prestigious tank, such as the T-34-85, increasing the total number of tanks produced to 56,000 during World War II. In 1937, engineer Mikhail Koshkin was assigned to lead the design of the BT's replacement. The Soviets used many BT tanks and T-26s, most notably in the Battle of Lake Khasan in July 1938 and the battles of Khalkhin Gol in 1939. The issue with these tanks was that they were, for the majority, ineffective. Poor welds meant that Molotovs would seep into the engine and crew compartments, and riveting in early designs meant that spalling became an increased problem. This allowed the developments to continue, learning about protection, mobility, firepower, and even the quality of the welding. In order to apply this, Koshkin proposed a universal tank. This new tank was intended to be more mobile, well protected, and would feature a 76mm gun. The first tank rated was designated the A-20. This featured sloped armor and a new model V2-34 engine in the V12 configuration, which was less flammable than those used on the BTs and the T-26s. As well as this, a wheel and track system was introduced on the BT tanks that allowed the tracks to be removed if necessary, turning the vehicle into what was essentially an armored car. The A-32 evolved from A-20 as it didn't feature the A-20's track system, meaning it could support more armor as it was lighter. The initial prototype for the T-34 was based on the A-32 and was designed to have thicker armor, proving to be successful at the field trials at Kubinka. A major downfall of the T-34 was that the interior was uncomfortably small and no changes were made to alter this throughout production. The T-34 was powered by a model V2-34 38.8-liter V12 diesel engine with an output of 500 horsepower, which meant it could achieve top speeds of up to 48 km/h. This engine allowed it to have a range of up to 118 miles. The first official production of the T-34 featured the L11 76mm gun, which had a low muzzle velocity. This was then later replaced in the T-34-76B, which saw the introduction of the new, longer-barreled F-34 76mm gun. The next development was of the T-34-76C in 1942, which had increased armor protection, soon followed by the T-34-76D, which featured a new, superior hexagonal turret design, which would later, in 1943, receive specially designed all-round division commander cupola. In a response to the improving German designs after the Battle of Kursk, the new T-34-85 was developed. The F-34 gun was obsolete and was useless against better armored Panther and Tiger tanks. A prototype T-43 was also developed, however it was found to be inadequate due to the lack of mobility and its inability to resist German 88mm guns. Despite the development of German weapons, the T-34 kept the same hull, although its turret and gun were changed. The production models featured the 85mm D5T gun and a turret which was capable of housing this new weapon, which later was changed to house the simpler ZIS S-53 gun in 1944. At the time of introduction, the T-34s were well armored, and the German 37mm anti-tank guns could not penetrate it. The design had adequate firepower, with the new F-34 tank gun which could penetrate the frontal armor of both Panzer IIIs and Panzer IVs. Its mobility outclassed the previous BT tanks, even with their substantial firepower and armor upgrades. The T-34 was first used in the beginnings of Operation Barbarossa, with success. So much so, it was stated in a German battle report that it is remarkable that Lieutenant Stoip's tank made hits on a T-34, once at about 20 meters and 4 times at 50 meters, without any noticeable effect. However, the newer tank, the T-34-85, was still not equal to the German Panther, but served to level the playing field to a certain extent. In summary, the T-34 may not have been the best tank. However, it provided one of the Soviet Union's best defenses against Germany during wartime. Its large production numbers and flexible mobility took German forces by surprise when first encountered, and continued to be the tank of choice throughout the Second World War.